Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has gone on the record saying he opposes legalized gambling in Texas. So have Governor Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Anywhere from $100 to $500 a game.
This man, who we'll call Steve, has been illegally betting on sports in Texas for 20 years. What do you enjoy about it?
It's an interesting question. I think some of it just has to do with the ability to predict and be right.
He showed us the website he uses to place bets with his bookie, who is also in Texas.
The fact of the matter is this is happening. I don't think it's slowing. I think if the state were to take advantage of regulation, they would recognize some benefits from it as well.
Benefits like cash. The Texas Lottery says it contributed $1.3 billion to Texas schools last year. And even the most conservative estimates say the sports betting industry is at least as big.
Sports betting will be not unlike the other good ideas, wink, wink, nod, nod, that have come into this state.
Rob Kohler is a lobbyist representing the nearly 3 million members of the General Baptist Convention of Texas, a powerful voting bloc that not only opposes legalized gambling, but would also like to see the lottery repealed. Their argument? Gambling in any form is a regressive tax that hits poor people the hardest, people who in some cases are already getting government assistance.
It'd make a sales tax blush on the question of regressivity. So, is it smart for us to fund our government predominantly from the folks that we're giving money to help? No.
And research does show low-income people are more likely to gamble than wealthier people. But attitudes towards sports betting have changed, evidenced by the NBA's recent partnership with casino giant MGM. But at the state capitol, gambling has been a losing bet.
There's just some things government shouldn't do. And in my opinion, government shouldn't come in and say, you can't play fantasy football. It's just dumb.
Laredo Democrat Richard Pena Raymond is the closest thing to a gambling supporter at the Capitol. He authored a bill that would have made fantasy football sites like DraftKings legal in Texas. But even he is quick to draw a line between playing fantasy football and actually betting on games.
It's a relatively nuanced difference, but it's a big difference. I don't intend to be the person who introduces legislation with reference to sports gambling, but I have to imagine that some of my colleagues will. And we'll just see how it goes.
Would you support that?
It would depend. I have to tell you, I don't bet on sports. I don't bet on games.
People will find the avenues, whether that's a bookie or an offshore account,